and I actually have been lucky enough to be Lisa Poley's next door neighbor for the last 10 years in Shadow Lake Village. And I'll just give you a brief history of Emerson Commons. Is outside of Charlottesville, and it has quite a bit of history behind it, actually. In 2005, we found out about cohousing, my husband and I, and decided that life was short. We wanted to move right into cohousing, and we moved in and became Lisa's neighbor. And we also, at the same time, actually that was 2004, we started forming a community in Charlottesville. So the Charlottesville community started in 2005. And the idea was that we had initially was that we would build out, live in cohousing while we are helping build cohousing. And so we were living there. We had, in 2008, by that point we had already bought the land, had rezoning, had all the house designs, had 15 members, enough to build this community. And then the entire real estate market crashed right at the moment that we were getting bids. So the whole thing failed, and it was going to be turned into regular single-family homes, and people lost their investments, and it was very sad. But everybody was going through that at the time, so it wasn't that unusual. So then, just a few years ago, my husband and I decided that we found out the property was still for sale because it was zoned for co-housing, and the only way you could build it was to build that. So we were lucky enough to be able to get the property ourselves. We're actually sort of, a lot of the decisions were made by the previous group, so we're sort of serving a developer role. The advantage of that, though, is that it's a lot of decisions have been made, and the site plan is ready, and even the final site plan has been approved. When we were looking at it in Crozet, it's just outside of Charlottesville, and it's in Albemarle County, which really tries to have more of a European model of zoning. So it has these things called growth areas. This is the end of the growth area, and behind us is going to be just rolling fields, horse farms, and they are not allowed to build more than one house per every 10 acres. But we are at the edge of the growth area, and then they have designed Crozet to be like a cluster of really more dense, more walkable, very European kind of model. They're going to try to put a pedestrian mall in, and so it was funny because when we picked 2005, we picked Crozet as it was sort of a backwater, and people were like, oh, that's 13 minutes away from town, and outside of Charlottesville, and now people are like, ooh, Crozet. Because Albemarle County has chosen to put a lot of investment into the infrastructure there, into the library there. You're nodding.
Old town.
Yeah, it's a cool little. It's got a little railroad town. It's very sweet. And it was already, there was an existing house on it. This is the barn. It has a barn, and it has horse stables. It has several creeks around the property. It's 6.1 acres, and you'll see some of the same pictures. And I was trying to picture see how many pictures I was in with Lisa's things. So anyway, it has this beautiful 1890s renovated farmhouse that's going to become a common house, and a cabin that adjoins it. It's going to have playgrounds, it's going to have community gardens, and an orchard. It's got a large heated pool, which we were finding out is a great gathering place for this. But I don't know if we would have picked it ordinarily, but it came with the house. So it's really been a huge community builder to have the pool there. We have guest rooms. We have the whole thing is sort of designed already. We have, and I will apologize that I'm the only representative from Emerson Commons. Coincidentally, we had a long-term plan of having sort of the big meeting was going to be tonight. So we have all of our members, and we're doing that one last equity push because we need 15 equity members to build, and we have 12. And we have 30 people on the really thinking about it list. So this is sort of I don't know what's going to happen today. Maybe we'll have enough to build, but we've only had the equity membership. We've had associate membership stage for about a year and a half, and the equity membership stage has been open since I think September 1st, and we've gotten a lot of enthusiasm. So I'm really excited, and I really think this could even build in 2016. It's really, what I've enjoyed is just like Shadow Lake Village, the community is a real mixture of different ages. We have a lot of young families, and we have retirees and people sort of in the middle, but they're all agreed they're looking for the same thing. You can see that we followed a lot of the idea when the first group was forming this was using Shadow Lake Village as a model. I mean, they did a great job and really just trying to have some of the same things. So having it really along this pedestrian lane obviously the parking is on the periphery, but it's not even penetrating that deeply into the property is part of the point. So it's really here. It's going to have the mountains are all back here, and most of these are going to have mountain views here. So let me see. The common house, this is the 1890s common house with lots of different things. I know Lisa's not in this picture. I wish I could flip that, but you can see what this is. We actually have held several retreats at the from Shadow Lake Village at the Common House, which has really been a great time to see how it all fits together and how it can work, having these different things. So this is, because it's such an old house, it was built in phases. So there are different additions, and this is actually inside the house, but they kept the siding, which is kind of funny. So. We're going to have single family homes, townhouses, and quadruplexes, but 2 on top and 2 below, because we really wanted to have some all one level access. That was something we had gotten feedback about. And it's also going to be, it's a real mixture. We're going to have 4 or 5, I think it's 4 affordable houses, and what else? The houses have already been designed, so you can come and take a look at the housing models if you'd like. I guess that's it. Do you have questions?
Thank you.
Okay.